Happy New Year. I am recording this in the final days of 2022, but I wanted to take a moment to just tell you guys a little bit about what I am looking forward to in 2023. If this is the first time that you're seeing me on a YouTube video, hey, my name is Tyler Lloyd, and I make videos really about anything that I find interesting. My subject matters have shifted, but I'm really going to be focusing in on sort of one thing in particular, and you already would know that by the topic of this video, which is homesteading. Now, I am by no means an expert homesteader. I'm just now starting off. We moved to Kentucky from Washington, D.C. earlier this year. I'm originally from Kentucky with the idea of starting up a small-scale homestead. Now, you may not be familiar with the term homesteading, or maybe you are and you have preconceived ideas about what a homestead is. As I've been reading and learning about it, there are a lot of beliefs and maybe misconceptions about what a homestead is. So let me tell you what at least I think a homestead is. I'm gonna use some notes here that I wrote down. A homestead is a place where a person or family lives self-sufficiently and often on a farm or a rural property. Homesteading is a lifestyle that involves growing and producing one's own food, raising animals, and being self-sufficient in terms of energy, water, and other basic needs. Now, for many, I think homesteading has this picturesque setting in a rural community where you have acres and acres and acres. We do not have acres and acres and acres, and my house is in Louisville, Kentucky, a city. So we're kind of in between of having like a suburban homestead, urban suburban, a little bit rural. We've got several acres, so it's kind of in this weird nebulous of what I kind of envision doing, but it's not, 10 plus acres. We're not going to be having cow and other big livestock, but I do hope to have lots of smaller livestock, which is something that I'm looking forward to in 2023, of doing that and gardens. Now, I grew up farming or having large gardens, about an acre and a half garden, where my brother and I, along with lots of help from my dad, mainly my dad, would grow a whole bunch of vegetables. We would pick them and then sell at our local farmers market. So this is kind of what I did growing up. I worked on a blueberry farm for many years. So I think I've got a good understanding of what it takes to put in a garden, but I've never done it myself. So I'm really looking forward to clearing land and setting down the groundwork for a garden that hopefully eventually one day will be such that it could provide the majority of all of the food for myself, Michelle, and our future family. But I know it's going to take time. Now this area right here, which currently has a burn pile and a big giant pile of dirt, this is kind of going to be at the center of where I'm putting in a whole bunch of raised beds and starting out my gardening endeavors. All the trees that you see in the back right there, I plan to cut down a lot of those. They're mainly invasive species and just very young scrub trees, and clear out that area so I can introduce more beneficial species, plant trees and different fruits and shrubs to start creating a nice permaculture setup here on my property, and really geeking out about all that stuff. I have undergrad degree in ecology, so really excited to brush that off and start applying those concepts, studying more and sharing with you guys what I've learned. And I have master's degrees in environmental science and natural resource management. So using those, which will help inform me, kind of science and policy guided ideas, but also putting things to the test, seeing what actually works and what doesn't work. Experimenting, which really excites me. Now, I haven't produced a whole lot of YouTube videos over the past 6 months since we moved to Kentucky, and that has kind of been for two reasons. One, that my time has been preoccupied with getting our house ready. We bought it as a fixer-upper. We knew that we had a lot to do, but the problems just kept coming. Most recently, our HVAC unit died. Luckily, it died the week before we experienced, -9 degrees Fahrenheit weather, so got that replaced, but that was a big headache, a big expense. And there have been lots of little things like that, but we're now coming to the point where we're getting all that stuff fixed, which that's been my focus. And that hasn't been all that exciting to me. It's kind of been stressful. So trying to balance something that was a bit of a burden that I wasn't excited about, and I didn't want to make YouTube videos about that. But now I've got all of this stuff laid out for the next year, and seeing how much I can do in the next year, 2023, and focusing on the area behind my house and turning that into a suburban-ish homestead. In trying to make the most of the next year, both for my projects and also making videos, I started laying out a bit of a calendar, kind of a month by month of the things that I need to get done, want to get done, and also can create videos about. So here are the few of the things that I'm gonna attempt to do over the next year. Rather than 3 minutes of me listing off all my project ideas for the next year, I just went ahead and put them up on the screen. You can hit pause if you'd like to read them. Building, just lots. I am not disillusioned that this is going to be a lot of work, a lot of hard work, physical work. It's also going to take money and financial resources, which, I don't have an endless supply, but I am willing to put it into it and document that and share the struggles and rewards as I try to create something from generally nothing. A lot of nothing. And I'm really excited to take you all along with me. So I know this video has been a bit of a rant, but it's sort of for me to document and put out there all the stuff that I'm going to try to accomplish, to sort of document what everything looks like right now and set the intention for the upcoming year. Let me know what you're working on, what you're focusing on for 2023. It's probably not homesteading. If it is, that's great. Connect with me down below. Would love to connect with other people who are homesteading. But what is your focus for 2023? What are you going to be working on? I would love to hear it because I love the comments that I receive from you all. So please share. If you're interested in following along on this journey, please subscribe, and at the very least, hit a thumbs up because it helps the YouTube algorithm. So again, my name is Tyler Lloyd. I make videos about living a happy, healthy, more sustainable life, but the focus for the next year is going to be homesteading. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.